Okay, here's the chain rule. The chain rule, we notice it's the bracket rule, if you want to think of it that way. Whenever you see brackets like this with something to the power, you're going to need to use the chain rule. How do we look at the chain rule? If it's f of x to some power of n, we just do this part as normal. It's like you bring the n down and you subtract 1 from the power, so it becomes n times whatever the function is to the power of n minus 1. But then the change is you've got to multiply it by the derivative of what's inside the brackets as well. So here we're going to bring the 10 down, and it's going to be 10 outside of 3x minus 7 to the power of 9. But then you've also got to multiply it by the derivative of what's inside the brackets, which is 3. So that's exactly what we've done here. We've brought the 10 down, 10 outside of 3x minus 7 to the power of 9. That's this part. And then we've just got to multiply it by what's inside the brackets, or the derivative of what's inside the brackets, which is 3. Bring this 3 out the front, and you get 3 times 10 is 30, outside of 3x minus 7 to the power of 9. And that is the function. We can't multiply by 30 in here because we are taking this to the power of 9. So we just leave it like that. So it looks as though this chain rule is probably the easiest, but the problem is when you get this chain rule and it's inside a product rule, or this chain rule and it's inside a quotient rule. So you've really got to know this one really well. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Here is the next one. We've got f of x equals x squared minus x to the power of 5. So because it's got that brackets, as soon as we see that brackets, we're thinking, okay, it's a chain rule. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the 5 down, just like I've done here. The brackets to the power of 4, because we reduce it by 1. So that's exactly what we've done here. And then what do we have to do? Multiply by the derivative of the whole bracket. So what's the derivative of the whole bracket here? 2x minus 1. So it's not just a number in this case, it's 2x minus 1. So what we get is 5 times this 2x minus 1 times x squared minus x to the power of 4. And that's it. Okay, hopefully that's cleared up the chain rule. But as I said, the problem with the chain rule is when it starts becoming not just the chain rule, but the chain rule inside a product rule, which we'll get on to. Thanks.